Hello, my dear friends. Tell me, are you familiar with this feeling? When the morning starts not with energy, but with some inexplicable heaviness. When it seems like your body is living its own separate life, full of creaks and ailments, and your energy seems to have slipped through your fingers like sand. Perhaps you catch yourself thinking, well, age is taking its toll, time to accept it. I used to think that way too. And this belief, this quiet resignation, almost cost me, well, let's just say, very dearly. Today, I want to talk to you frankly, like old friends, about 3 dangerous myths that many of us believe after 70. These myths are insidious traps that subtly steal years of active, joyful life from us. They whisper to us that certain things are normal for our age, when in reality, they are SOS signals from our body. We'll talk about how some familiar things, perhaps even foods loved since childhood or established rituals, are actually working against us, like little pests, undermining the foundation of our health. But most importantly, I will share with you simple, accessible steps that helped me and many others feel significantly better, more energetic, more alive. No complex diets or grueling workouts, I promise. Just common sense and a little self-care. Please stay with me until the end of this conversation. Perhaps what you hear today will become the key to a completely different quality of life for you. Myth number 1. At my age, it's too late to change anything about my diet. I eat what I'm used to, and it's fine. How often I've heard this phrase. And I thought so myself, let's be honest. Tell me, isn't it pleasant to have a fluffy bun with butter and sweet tea for breakfast? Or for dinner, a plate of fried potatoes just like Mom used to make in childhood? These habits seem so familiar, so cozy, like an old warm blanket. But what if that blanket is slowly suffocating us? Let me tell you the story of my good acquaintance Arthur. Arthur was 78 when we once talked about how he was feeling. He complained about constant drowsiness after eating, that his stomach often rebelled, and his energy, well, you understand. Old age, my friend, old age, he sighed. His diet was classic. White bread, pasta, potatoes, sausage, cookies with tea. Vegetables? Well, a pickled cucumber sometimes, a tomato in the summer. Fruit? Too acidic, my stomach hurts afterward. He sincerely believed that his digestion had simply worn out over the years, and changing anything was a pointless undertaking and too much trouble. Why do I need this grass? I'm not a rabbit. He waved off his daughter's advice to switch to whole grain bread or add more greens. In his voice, you could hear both stubbornness and a kind of deep weariness at the very thought of change. The familiar seemed safe, and the new, intimidating and complicated. But one day, after another hearty dinner, Arthur felt really unwell. His blood pressure spiked, and he became short of breath. The doctor he saw was strict, but fair. He explained a simple thing to Arthur. His usual food was like constantly pouring gasoline on a barely smoldering fire. Fast carbohydrates, white bread, sugar, pasta made from white flour, give a sharp spike in energy, like a roller coaster. A surge, then a sharp drop, leaving a feeling of fatigue and hunger. And the lack of fiber, that's vegetables, fruits, whole grains. It's as if the trash stopped being taken out in your house. Everything accumulates, interferes with normal function, creates discomfort. Arthur's daughter, armed with the doctor's advice, began to act gently but persistently. First, she replaced the white bread with whole grain bread. Arthur grumbled, "It's kind of gray, doesn't taste good." But after a week, he admitted that the feeling of satiety after breakfast lasted longer. Then she started adding lentils or a little broccoli to his favorite soup instead of potatoes. Instead of cookies with tea, she offered a handful of nuts or a baked apple with cinnamon. It wasn't easy. Arthur missed the familiar tastes. Sometimes he slipped up. But gradually, this gradually was like a miracle. A couple of months later, Arthur himself noted with surprise that he didn't feel as sleepy after lunch as before. Bloating bothered him less often. He had more energy to take a walk in the park instead of sitting in front of the TV all day. He even started getting interested in recipes. The physiology is simple. A stable blood sugar level provides steady energy. Fiber, like a caring gardener, regulates bowel function, which directly affects both nutrient absorption and even mood. Psychologically, Arthur changed too. He stopped feeling like an old wreck, A certain lightness appeared, pride in himself. You know, he told me recently, I never thought that at my age you could feel lighter, like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. What's the conclusion? It's never too late to give your body the gift of healthier food. Even one small change is already a step towards better well-being. Maybe tomorrow morning, instead of a white bun, you could try oatmeal with berries or whole wheat toast with avocado. Your body will thank you. Body will thank. Myth number 2, you need to move less. Protect yourself. Activity is for the young. We need rest. Oh, this myth is particularly deeply ingrained in us. A slight twinge in the knee. That's it. We sit down. The back starts aching. We lie down. It seems logical. If something hurts, you need to give it rest. And we start protecting ourselves to the point of complete immobility. We are afraid of falling, afraid of getting tired, afraid of pain. And this fear paralyzes us more than any arthritis. I want to tell you about Margaret. She was 74 and lived by the principle of take it easy. Her world had shrunk to the size of her apartment, and her favorite place became the armchair by the window. My legs aren't what they used to be. My joints creak. I get dizzy, she would say. Any suggestion to go outside or do light exercises was met with a polite but firm refusal. Why? I'll only make it worse for myself. God forbid I might fall. She sincerely believed that rest was the best medicine. In her eyes, you could read a mixture of resignation and quiet panic at the thought of any effort. She depended on her children and grandchildren for help, even with small things, and this weighed her down, although she tried not to show it. Everything changed when her granddaughter, a medical student, brought her printouts with exercises, to be done sitting in a chair, simple arm swings, leg lifts, torso twists. Margaret was skeptical at first. This is like kindergarten, she sniffed, but her granddaughter was persistent and charming. Grandma, come on, let's try, just 5 minutes. It definitely won't make things worse. And Margaret, more out of love for her granddaughter, agreed. The first few days felt strange. Muscles, unaccustomed to work, ached slightly. But Margaret persisted, just 5 to 10 minutes a day. After a week, she noticed that getting up from the chair became a little easier. After a month, she discovered with surprise that she could reach the top shelf in the kitchen herself, where she used to ask her son to get things down for her. It was a small victory, but it gave her wings. So, what happened? Our body works on the use it or lose it principle. When we stop moving, muscles weaken and atrophy. They simply have no reason to be strong. Joints, deprived of movement, become stiff, like unlubricated door hinges. Blood circulation worsens, meaning the brain and all organs receive less oxygen and nutrients. It's like a river. If it flows, it lives. If it turns into a stagnant swamp, life in it stagnates. Light, regular activity isn't a burden. It's lubrication for the joints, training for the heart and blood vessels, stimulation for the brain. Even simple chair exercises improve blood flow, help maintain muscle tone and flexibility. Psychologically, Margaret blossomed. She became less afraid of movement, felt more confident, more independent. It's like I've woken up, she told her granddaughter. She even started going out for short walks in the yard. What's the conclusion? Movement is life, at any age. No need for records or marathons. Start small. A few simple exercises in the morning without getting out of bed or while sitting in a chair. A short walk at a comfortable pace. The main thing is regularity. Your body is designed for movement. Don't deprive it of this joy. Try it right now while watching this video. Just raise and lower your shoulders a few times. Rotate your wrists. Feel that? That's already a start. Self-promotional part translated as requested. If you are still watching this video and find the information useful, write the number 2 in the comments, or something nice if what I'm talking about is helpful to you, so I know you're here. And if you are not yet subscribed, now is the time to fix that. Subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos. Well then, let's move on. Myth number 3, and the most dangerous in my opinion. Constant fatigue, poor memory, apathy. It's just old age. Don't bother doctors over minor things. This myth, it almost played a very cruel trick on me. That's exactly why I decided to record this video. We get so used to blaming everything on age. Forgot where you put your keys? Senile sclerosis, haha. No energy to get off the sofa? The years are taking their toll. Feeling down for no apparent reason? Just tired. We wave these symptoms away, consider them inevitable companions of gray hair. We don't want to seem like hypochondriacs, don't want to burden doctors with our old age complaints, and we endure, silently, and it's pointless, very pointless. Allow me to be completely frank here. A few years ago, after crossing the 70-year mark, I myself began to notice changes. Fatigue came in waves, such brain fog in the mornings that it was hard to concentrate. My memory started failing. I forgot names, recent events. Some inexplicable anxiety and apathy appeared. I joked it off, told myself it was normal, just getting older. Everyone lives like this, I reassured myself. I started going out less, sleeping more during the day, but it didn't get easier. I blamed it on the weather, on magnetic storms, on anything but the real problem. I didn't want to go to the doctor. What will he tell me? Grandpa, what do you expect at your age? I thought. The culmination came suddenly. One morning, I simply couldn't get out of bed. The weakness was so severe that my vision darkened. My heart was pounding like crazy. My wife called an ambulance. In the hospital, after tests, it turned out I had severe anemia and critically low levels of vitamin B12. It wasn't just old age. These were specific, measurable medical problems that were slowly but surely destroying my body and could have led to irreversible consequences for my heart and brain. The doctor then told me something I'll remember for the rest of my life. Your body was sending you warning signals for a long time, and you ignored them, writing them off as age. A little longer, and it could have been too late. Can you imagine my state? On one hand, fear at how close I had come to the edge. On the other, immense relief that the cause was found, and it could be treated. I was prescribed iron supplements, B12 injections. And within a couple of weeks, I felt like a different person. The brain fog lifted, energy started returning, my mood improved. I could read books again, go for walks, socialize with friends without that feeling of constant fatigue. It was as if I had become 10 years younger. And how much bitterness there was in the thought. Why did I wait? Why didn't I seek help sooner? Fatigue, memory problems, low mood, these are not normal signs of aging. They can be symptoms of anemia, vitamin deficiencies, especially B12 and D, thyroid problems, undiagnosed diabetes, heart failure, depression, which is very treatable, or even sleep apnea, when you stop breathing in your sleep, depriving your brain of oxygen. Ignoring these signals is like driving a car with a red warning light flashing on the dashboard, hoping it will go away on its own. It won't, but it can and should be diagnosed and treated. What's the conclusion? Please, listen to yourself carefully. Don't dismiss symptoms that prevent you from living a full life. Your body is your truest friend. It always signals if something is wrong. Don't be afraid or embarrassed to see a doctor. You are not bothering them over minor things. You are fighting for your health and quality of life. Tell the doctor in detail about everything that worries you. Insist on tests if you feel something is wrong. You have every right to know what is happening with your body and to receive the necessary help. This is not weakness. It is wisdom and responsibility towards yourself. So, these are the 3 myths, my dear friends, that can subtly poison our golden years. The myth that it's too late to change your diet. The myth that you need to move less. And the most insidious myth that feeling unwell is just old age. I look at you now, even through the screen, and I see in your eyes the wisdom of years lived, rich life experience. You have seen so much, learned so much. You raised children, built homes, lived through different times. You have earned the right to enjoy life, to feel good, to be active and full of energy, at any age. Please, don't let false beliefs and fears steal this opportunity from you. Remember the stories of Arthur, Margaret, my own story. Small steps, small changes in habits, paying attention to your body's signals. All this can work a real miracle. No need to wait for Monday or the new year to start taking care of yourself. Start today. Take one small step towards your health and well-being. You can do it. I believe in you. Take care of yourselves, be healthy and full of energy. And know this, the best years are yet to come.